What's up players, it's Jack from Untitled Chapter here, and today I'm bringing you episode 1 of my Football Manager 2013 Let's Play. I so nearly said 2012 then, but yeah, so far love the game, but yeah, let's get straight on into it. So today we're going to be covering the preseason results. We won't be looking at the goals, the transfers that I've done so far, and also the first month of the league's goals, the league's action. So yeah, we'll start off with players that went out during the transfer window. Pretty much everyone, well, they were all loan deals, we didn't sell anyone. So Francis Coquelin went to Bordeaux, Craig Eastman went to Brentford, Josh Rees went to Torquay, Christopher Olsen went to Rochdale, Nico Yanaris went to Doncaster, Jack Jebb went to Wimbledon, pretty weird name there, and Ignacy Mikel went to Swindon. And now players in, we got Owen Hargreaves on a free because I thought we needed a bit more depth in midfield. We didn't have too many players in the holding midfielder role, and so I thought I'd get him on a free. Same reason, we didn't have too many people in midfield in that sort of holding midfielder role, so I signed Lars Bender from Leverkusen for £21 million, and then we had around 10 million left over, so with 5 million of that I signed my favourite player, Wilfried Zaha from Crystal Palace, and yeah, more of sort of a prospect, and mainly because I love him, so yeah. Let's go ahead and look at the preseason results. So we had a total of 6 preseason friendlies with 4 wins and 2 draws. We beat the reserves 3-0, we beat Colorado 3-0, we beat New York Red Bull 3-1, we beat Vancouver 3-2, and then we drew 1-1 with Columbus and Sporting Kansas City. So let's go ahead and take a look at the goals and our first match of the season. We got loads of matches to do, so let's go ahead and get through these. Our first match of the season against West Ham, and I thought for this series I'm not gonna, in the last one I sort of gave away the score and the results pretty early on, so this time I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna sort of let it play out. So let's take a look at the goals. The first goal fell to us to make it 1-0 with Giroud getting on the score sheet, scoring on his professional debut, unlike in real life where it took him quite a while to get off the mark, so I'm pleased that he got off the mark well there. The next goal of the game fell just before half time, and it actually went to the opposing team, I believe. Take a look here in a minute how the game came up. Oh no, actually fell to us with a nice counter-attack, I believe. I mean, there's a lot of football in this highlight, which is quite surprising, but it basically breaks down the left with Podolski, whips ball in, Oxlade-Chamberlain is completely unmarked, and you know, it would have been harder to miss in that situation, so I'm glad that Chamberlain scored. I'm a big fan of Oxlade-Chamberlain for England and Arsenal. The next goal, just before half-time still, Jenkinson whips it across to Podolski, who somehow scores from that really tight angle, which means he scored on his debut as well, on his professional debut, which is awesome. So that's 3-0 at half-time. Then the next goal just comes just after half-time. So ball comes down, Podolski sprints, bombs it across, Giroud nets it, slides into get on the end of Podolski's cross, and that is now 4-0. It comes to the hour mark, they get a ball in from a corner. We should have dealt with this a lot better, pretty poor defending on our part. Comes back out to Taylor, and Ben Ayoun is free at the back to make it 4-1. Still 2 goals left in the game. And yeah, the next goal is ours, I believe. So Sir Chesney hits it up to Arteta, into Jenkinson, and to Chamberlain on the right wing, plays it to Ramsey. It's good passing football. Shamak's there, slides it for Podolski, gets his second goal of the game, which makes it 5-1. And then there is one last goal of the match. Who's it going to go to? Will it be 6-1 or 5-2? That is the question. Ball is right down in their defence, back to their keeper. Big long ball up front. Carroll knocks it to Noble. To Noble. Noble one to Nolan. Back to Nolan. Good passing play, build up from West Ham. Comes into Carroll, heads it down for Noble, receives it back and slots it home. So that's 5-2 for the end of the match. Let's go ahead and go back to our fixtures. And then we come to the second game second match of the season, which is against Everton. And here we go with the Everton match. So we get off to a flying start with a 5-2 win for the Premier League. Let's go ahead and take a look at the goals. We get a goal straight off the bat, actually, which is really, really good, really awesome to see. Giroud blasting it from just inside, maybe on the edge of the box to go 1-0 up in the match. Really awesome stuff, really good to see him getting some goals. Then again, Giroud with a half volley, with a great long ball up from Vermaelen from a free kick. And then that's 2-0. So brilliant, it's awesome to see Giroud scoring. And then the next goal in the match falls to Everton to make it 2-1. Some good passing play. Suspicion of offside there. Looking back on it, probably wasn't. And then the ball eventually finds its way to Jelavic, who slots it home for 2-1 just after half-time. So we went into the game 2-0 up at half-time. Then they actually draw it level with a good header from Jagielka, who gets up. So they get a somewhat quick double. That is 2-2 at this point. But there's still goals left in the game. Bender so almost lost it then, and pretty much did. But then they clear it straight to Arshavin. A bit fortunate there for a really bad clearance. And then we come up, we're playing some good football just outside their box, looking for the final ball. Chamberlain heads it across to Ramsey, and that is the game at 3-2. Awesome stuff there. So then we come to our third match in a row in the Premier Division, and we're looking to get 3 wins out of 3 on the bounce, and we're at home to Stoke this time. So it's looking good so far, 2 wins out of 2, hopefully looking for 3, but Stoke, pretty dodgy team, you never know what happens. Just the 1 goal in it in this match, and here it is. Vermaelen heads it on from Chamberlain's corner into Mertesacker at the back post, who slots it home, and it was a pretty nervy affair, that one. So 3 games and 3 wins, and then we go to QPR away from home, and this is where things start to go a little bit downhill. And it's never good when 4 games into the season you're looking for a 4th straight win, and things are starting to go a bit pear-shaped. So here we go again. Sagna starts off with the ball down the right-hand side. We look good to begin with in the first half, and some good passing play here. We lose the ball though carelessly. They break, they punish us for it. Hoylett's out there on the right wing, finds the ball in, cleared by Sagna pretty poorly, straight to Granero. They get it back out to Granero. Traore's in acres of space, and so is Hoylett. Nobody picks up either of them, and they go in 1-0 up at that point. Second half now, corner comes in. They don't deal with it. It comes back out to Arteta on that right wing. He's going to get a ball in. Corzola's going to volley it straight home with an awesome finish. Really good stuff from him. And then the final goal in the game comes from the hour mark. Really poor defending. Never cleared the ball. Zamora latches onto the free ball, and we lose 2-1. And it's not detrimental, but that's the first loss. Then we come up against Valencia in the Champions League group stages. And we're looking to bounce back from our win, from our loss, and hopefully get our 4th win of the season, rather than our 2nd loss of the season. But it doesn't always go our way, so here's the first goal of the game. They hold the ball up just around the halfway line. They're looking to penetrate the defence, and sure enough they do, with a good ball out wide, who goes all the way past our defenders, finds a cross, we don't clear the ball, and that's first goal, first blood for Valencia, 1-0 up in this Champions League match. And then they actually managed to go 2-0 up shortly after. This is even before 10 minutes played, so we go 2-0 down within 10 minutes, which is really, really poor. Soldado there getting a good finish. Oh no, that was Parejo. But things aren't all bad. They're kind of looking up for us because we get the ball downfield, but unfortunately we lose it straight away from the goal kick. They come back at us, and this is where they're going to try and go 3-0. They don't just yet. And Shamak just about keeps the ball in play there. Looked like a pretty close one. Gets the ball back and slides it home to Ramsey, and that's 2-1, and we're right back in it. It's anybody's game now. And then it goes all the way to the 85th minute, and things are really getting close. And we could go 2-2 here. And Andre Santos tries to look for the ball down the wing. Doesn't. Piate's on it. back to Parejo, who's got 2 goals already in this game. They pass it out wide down the left. They find a good ball inside, who's in acres of space. Slots it through to Soldado, and that's 3-1. And pretty much crushes our hope of getting a point. And then the final goal of the game on the 90th minute. We just about get it up. Shamak's there, who goes on a brilliant solo effort and then slots it home. 3-2. Bit of a nice individual goal, but didn't affect the end of the match. So that's now 2 losses on the bounce. And then we come up against Newcastle. We're looking to amend our poor results of late and hopefully get some more points on the board. And plenty of goals in this one again. So we'll go ahead and take a look at those right now. Starts off Newcastle attacking in our final third. Cabai crosses it across, doesn't find anyone. They give it another go with Gutierrez, who passes it back to Santon. Whips the ball in, gets to the byline. Finds Gutierrez, who scores from an impossible angle and just completely beats the keeper. So Newcastle 1-0 up. Just after the restart, we managed to get a chance of our own here. Arteta plays it to Mertesacker, plays it back to the keeper, and then we're really trying to attack, get back into this game, but passing it across the back. So the ball comes wide to Sanya eventually, who's trying to look and get it line. They end up losing the ball in the failed triangle passing. Cabai slots it into Cisse, and then Newcastle go 2-0 up and we're in trouble. Because it's already in the second half, we're 2-0 down, and things aren't looking great. Then the ball comes to Arteta, who plays in Shamak, who plays in Giroud, and we slot it home for a 2-1, and things might be able to clinch a point. But then all hope is lost as Krul saves it just on the line, which could have gone 2-2 and could have changed the game, but instead he boots outfield. Cisse's on it, Tiote's on it. Ball comes out wide to Ben Arthur on the right wing. He's going to play it back inside to Tiote. Ben Arthur's then going to play in Cisse, who's going to play in Shola Amiobi and get 3-1, and that's the end of the match. So then we're 3 losses in a row, and we've got Chelsea and we've got Man United to come up against next. And it's looking pretty tough, and we play Chelsea at home in the FA Cup, I believe, the Capital One Cup, maybe that's the League Cup. No idea, too many different names with sponsors, just too confusing. And we really needed good performance, and a good performance we got. So we start the game off brightly, plenty of goals in this match for you to enjoy. And yeah, let's go ahead and get this started. So Vermaelen's down the left, passes it up to Podolski. He then finds acres of space to dart into. He's going down the wing. He's going to eventually put a ball into the box. Walcott's going to be free at the back post. It's going to ricochet off, everyone and their mother. But eventually Giroud's going to latch onto it and score for 1-0 to go 1-0 up in the match. And then Chelsea had a player sent off a little bit earlier. And this is the second goal. It's bouncing off everyone again. But Giroud's there, which is really awesome to see him scoring so many goals. So that's 2-0. And then just after half-time on the hour mark, ball comes wide to Podolski on the left. He beats one and crosses it in, and Giroud's there for the hat-trick within the hour. Awesome stuff from him. So we're now 3-0 up and looking pretty comfortable with just less than half an hour to go. And then we're not done just yet. Giroud's there yet again with the 4th goal of the game, and the 4th goal for him. 4-0 with only 20 minutes left to play. And then Sanya gets the free kick, whips it in, but unfortunately nothing comes of it. Then Torres is up there, hits it into Lampard, back to the back, all the way back to Czech. And they're going to build up from the back here, and then get a goal, I believe. Passing it around the back, eventually a big ball up, and then we latch onto it actually. Oxlade-Chamberlain's on the right wing, finds a ball across. Podolski's there again, netting from another tight angle. That's the second time he's done that. So we're now 5-0 up. 4 goals for Giroud, 1 for Podolski. So it's good to see the new signings scoring goals. But then we lose the ball carelessly in midfield. They counter and break on us pretty fast. We lose it again in midfield actually, which is pretty annoying. And eventually we're going to lose the ball here in a second. With a good chance actually, but the Podolski's ball doesn't find anyone. Then Ramsey loses it just on the edge of the box. Big hoof upfield to Torres. There's pretty much no threat there. But then Marin goes on an absolute tear, goes straight through our whole midfield and defence, shoots, Fabianski blocks it straight into Sturridge. So 5-1, they pick up the consolation goal, but we're back in business, 5-1 with an emphatic win. But then we come up against Man United, and we want to keep this going, we want to keep going, and this time it's in the Premier League, so we definitely want to get some points here because we've had a couple of bad results. So having won 3 times in a row, we then lost 3 times in a row, and here we are. Chamakh getting the first goal early on within 8 minutes of the match, awesome stuff. Then Giroud, I think it might be Giroud, might not be. Just moments later we get our second goal of the game to go 2-0 up, and it's really promising stuff. So Cazorla whips it in, eventually. Andre Santos heads it in, Chamakh turns, and then Giroud picks up the goal, like I said, and that's 2-0, which is really awesome. It's looking promising. But then things decide to change. Van Persie scores a great volley from a Giggs free kick, and then it's 2-1. Things are looking a little bit nervous, and then not too long after, they actually managed to get a second goal of the game to make it 2-2, and then we're thinking we might be in trouble. Ball comes into Giggs, who we don't deal with it, and he eventually shoots and scores, no problem. So it's 2-2 with only half an hour left to play roughly, so we really need to get back in the game, get some goals, and get the win. Andre Santos now plays it back. We play it around at the back for ages. I really thought we were going to be in trouble there. But then Chamakh plays in Zaha, left wing, who comes on from Cazorla because he was injured. Ball comes back out. Arteta's there. Wilshire's there. Back to Arteta, who's very much a playmaker. Chamakh plays in Wilshere, and then we get the winning goal, 3-2. But we're not done there. With only 10 minutes left, there's still goals in the game for us to have. Rooney loses the ball to Andre Santos there. Zaha into De Giroud. Fabianski boots it upfield. We don't quite get the ball, but Wilshere wins it in midfield. Plays in Chamakh, who's going to find Podolski through the rebound. Podolski heads in for 4-2, but we're still not done. 2 goals to the good. We won another one. Again, starts off with a pretty good counter. We played counter-attacking football the whole game, and it worked for us, thankfully. Zaha picks it up on the left, plays in Chamakh, who plays in Podolski. Walcott's there, and then Zaha, who originally set up the piece, volleys it from the back of the back post for 5-2, and that's the game. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Premier Division standings. Let's go ahead and look at the league table, which is here. Let's try and look at standings a bit bigger. I don't think we can. So yeah, we are 4th with 12 points out of 6 games. Man City are 1st with 13 points, so we're still within a point of 1st place, which is good. And now let's go ahead and go to... Yeah, here we go, here's an enlarged view of it. And let's see if we can go to our Champions League group. And there we are, the other people in our group are Ajax and some weird team. But yeah. That's about it for the video, guys. So if you did enjoy it, please make sure you hit that like button. Also add it to your favourites. And if you want to share it around on Twitter and Facebook, that'd be great. I'd like to thank you very, very much for watching, guys. Peace.